right, on to my favorite album cover
By Yay.
by Ye.
Gotta respect it.
Mm,
I actually don't.
wow,
By Kanye West. But
this is a chunky album, man. This is a chunker,
so
big chunkus.
I gave this one a 6 out of 10. Um, which for a concept album is a pretty bad score, honestly. Especially for a concept as like heavy as this one is. But I don't know if you
Mm.
agree with me on this, but I felt like he gave up on the concept.
Um, hmm, you know, I don't know. I honestly don't know what my opinion is on that.
Yeah, I mean there are a couple things in this
I see where you're
album.
coming from though.
Yeah, there are a couple things in this album that I like that are kind of I don't know that I didn't really like that much. Like I felt like he kicked off really hard, like dedicating this album to his mom, and then like about the hardships that he's had to endure and like how she's like watched his entire journey. And then like there are a
Hmm.
couple of songs where that theme just doesn't exist. And then the
Yeah.
back half of the album was so hard to listen to. Like like if you're okay, usually what happens is that like you make I'll use Dream Theater as an example just because we both know it. But, like Metropolis Part 1 and Metropolis Part 2. Like let's assume that Metropolis Part 2 was like one song, right? Like let's assume that Metropolis Part 2 was like just Home because like, that would actually make sense in my opinion. Um like the two songs stand on their own, like they're obviously connected, like enough that you can have a part 1 and a part 2 and it makes sense. But both of the
Hmm.
songs have their own identity and it's fine. Okay. Jail and Jail Part 2 are like literally the same thing with like minor changes. Okay, okay, and okay, okay, part two. Literally the same thing with minor
Yeah.
changes.
Mm.
And I don't care if Junya Part Two is different. That song is not good, and I didn't need to hear it a second time.
I'm pretty sure it's I think it's Junia Part Two. That was the one I
Yeah,
texted
maybe
you
Junya.
about.
Yeah, yeah. With the fart bass. Yeah, agreed. I don't like that song. That's my least favorite song on the album. You know what? That's my least favorite song out of the entire track list of all of these albums, with the exception of MLK Interlude. There are a lot of bangers on this album too, though.
There, it's it, like I said, it is
Like
a
Donda and Donda
chunky
Chant
album.
and
Okay, okay, clown.
okay. Did you know that Donda Chant actually has significance? Like with how many times the word Donda spoken was like how many years his mother's lived or something. I think that's what it is. And then
Sorry, sir.
obviously, if you've looked into it, like Donda was his mom's name. If you didn't know that, pretend like you did.
Yeah, yeah, I knew
Yeah.
that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, Donda Chant. Actually, I don't mind it. I feel like a lot of people meme on it. I think it's fine. I think it's fine as the opener.
I agree. Yeah. I mean, it does like, yeah, if it is going to be a concept album, then that's a good song to start with, for sure.
Yeah. Also, just a little neat touch. Donda is the track is smacked right in the middle, like as a perfect midway interlude, which is doesn't mean anything, but it's aesthetically pleasing at least.
You're correct, yeah.
Okay.
You're right. The front half of this album is great.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Jail banger.
Yes.
Um,
God Breathed, I'm a huge fan of. One of my favorites.
God
One
Breathed
of
and
my
Off
three
the Grid.
favorites.
I can't really like. I thought they were good. They didn't stand out as much to me. Hurricane stood out a lot to me. I
Yes.
didn't talk
Mhm.
about it on Planet Her, but You Right had a Weekend feature, or it was co-produced by The Weekend, and I just forgot to write it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like The Weekend. I love his voice, and
Yes.
he was in Hurricane, and Hurricane is a banger. Um, Remote Control is okay. Moon is a banger. Moon is
Wait,
a
doesn't
hard banger.
remote at the end of Remote Control, it makes a reference to the Glob Glob.
Yep. I didn't like that at all. I was just gonna Pretend like that didn't exist.
No, I will bring it up.
Okay. Have you ever listened to a Kid Cudi album?
I have not. My
You really should.
roommate though is a massive fan of Kid Cudi.
I'm sure that he's
Like he
familiar with the song Moon then.
really, I liked Moon. Yeah, I remember that one.
Moon is I could be wrong. I think Moon is the consensus favorite track by most people. I don't blame them. I think it's like definitely one of the best tracks on the album.
I'm surprised. I feel like Hurricane would be the census favorite.
Hurricane's my second favorite.
Hmm.
I wouldn't have been surprised if Jail was like, yeah, Jail really stood out to me as being really good. Jail Part 2 didn't stand out at all. Believe What I Say, I liked.
Hmm. I remember that one.
And then we get to the Donda interlude, followed by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 songs that I don't remember or care about.
I'm honestly a huge fan of Jesus Lord and Jesus Lord Part 2.
I don't know if you counted, but so there are 12 tracks that come after Donda, and I said 11. So, uh,
Oh, oh.
yeah, I love Jesus Lord Part 2 specifically.
Okay, okay.
And that's one of the when I was talking about earlier about how some people dislike artists due to like polarizing opinions.
Hmm.
Like you know me, you've known me long enough now to know that I'm pretty much like a confirmed atheist. So I remember when I told my sister that Jesus Lord Part 2 is my favorite track on the album. She was like, "Can?" Um, but like I don't know, like if somebody is really passionate about something and like they hard commit to it, it doesn't matter if I completely disagree with them. I'll pretty much always respect it, unless your opinion is stupid. Unless you're like I'm committed to pedophilia, it's like okay, bro, you crossed the line, man. But I don't know. I could like feel. I could feel his passion coming through Jesus Lord Part 2, and I listened to that track multiple times, even though it's 11 minutes long. I mean, that's the only reason why I like it more than Jesus Lord is because that felt like the only Part 2 track where he actually like made an effort to make a change to the song to warrant a Part 2. Like the first one is 8
Yeah.
minutes, the second one is
Hmm.
like 12 minutes or something. So
Yeah. I'm pretty sure the like the recorded audio at the very end is I think they're exactly the same in
they
both
are.
songs. Yeah.
Yep. Speaking of that
Which
recorded
I don't
audio, I actually liked that. Like I liked the story that it was telling.
so did I. I wish it was different between the two songs. But it's okay.
Well, that's what I'm saying is that like the part twos don't need to exist. Like none of them are different. In fact, Jail is 4 minutes 57 seconds long, and Jail Part 2 is 4 minutes 58 seconds long. So I haven't listened to them to confirm, but I would not be surprised if their dead ass just wasn't anything different, which would be really stupid. But
Oh, wow. Good album overall. I enjoyed this much more than I thought I would. I have it as a 3.5 out of
yeah,
5.
I feel like when you went into it, because like okay, what Junior was like the or Junior was the first track you listened to, right?
Yes.
And then you sent me a message. You were like, I'm not looking forward to this. I mean, are you glad that I told you it was a concept album? You got to listen to it in order at least.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, because if I was like, it's a concept album and it starts with Junya and fart bass, it's like, okay, what's the concept?
And I think even though I listened to the whole thing on YouTube first, yeah, I still have a ton of plays for it in Spotify.
I don't
So
know
it's
that
like
many plays.
together.
I need to revisit it. I want to listen to Hurricane and Moon more specifically. I don't want to listen to Jesus Lord Part 2 more just because that song is. If I'm going to listen to a 12-minute song, I feel like there are better 12-minute songs I could be listening to, but it is my favorite song in the album, so.
It was my I actually like the first. know why I have the first Jesus Lord listed as my favorite instead of the second.
Maybe you like the first one better.
I must
Guess you'll
have,
have
but
to
I
listen
can't
to both
recall
of them to
why.
find out.
I know what I'm doing the next 20 minutes.